And here we are with AWE 2026, and I'm honored to be here with Jennifer Fan, who is, I consider a friend.
Of course.
Yes,
of course.
and we've been very lucky to have you. And we're going to talk today about a new technology for cholangioscopy and pancreatoscopy.
Yeah.
And if you could tell us what the benefits are and how is it different what we have now?
Yeah, so this is the Medtronic Dragonfly. It's one of the newest cholangioscopes that came out of the market, I would say roughly around a year ago. We were lucky at our institution to actually have this technology to use every day for our patients. And the biggest thing is the innovation that has happened with the handle and how tip deflection is. So how we know all our scopes and our cholangioscopes to be in particular is that driving it forward requires typical movement of the operator's hand. This one, and you can't quite tell, but you'll see it when I do it on the scope, is to move the cholangioscope forward, you actually move the actual handle forward. And then the nice thing about this is the deflection is completely different from what we're used to, right? So you can see kind of the up and down movement, and then a 160-degree tip deflection here in both directions of the tip of the scope. It's also one of the largest cholangioscopes that we have so far in the market, with the largest channel, therefore being able to put bigger biopsy forceps through and
bigger probes and
exactly,
visual.
not having to do as much maneuvering if the accessories get stuck mid-channel.
And almost the handle feels like an EUS needle, or at least
does,
the feel of that.
Yeah, it mimics kind of that EUS, FNA, FMB pathway that you would use kind of with your hand. Okay, so we're gonna introduce the cholangioscope through any ERCP device that we have. And then Angela is going to attach the device to my scope handle, and you'll see that it sits a little differently than what we're used to, but quite ergonomic in how it sits onto the scope. Okay, it's going to come all the way down. It's going to kind of hug onto the handle like this. She's going to kind of put it on like a little seat belt, and then we're going to click it in place. Nice and snug once we're done. See, and it kind of clicks in place right here. It's not too heavy on the handle. So now if we're going to look at Roger's hand and the screen, it's kind of what I told you before. In order to advance the actual cholangioscope, when we advance the cholangioscope out, we're going to pull down on the handle towards us, however far we need to go. So you can imagine this is definitely far enough to get to the highlight, right? And then at the tail of the pancreas. And then if we want to deflect up or down, you can kind of see on the monitor, but look at the deflection here, and we can stay in that deflection as we rotate one way or another with the handle. So it's technically 160 in each direction, but you can see that we can pretty much go almost 360 here.
And what is this part of the device for?
This part here, so it's up and down deflection.
I see.
Yeah, so instead of kind of going in a four-way deflection, which we're used to with all our scopes, it's now tipping one way up or down and then rotating the entire tip of the scope one way or another. So different form. So the typical question that I get asked is, this is very different from what we're used to. What is your learning curve? Yes. And it's usually around 1 to 2 cases. And so you really want to start off with like a big stone that you may need like a big
and a
EHL probe.
wide diameter.
A wide diameter duct. And then if you think you're going to need a big EHL probe to really break down the stone, this is a perfect use for this type of cholangioscope.